And now, live from Pod Cabin in Burbank, California, it's the Allison Rosen is Your New Best Friend show. Tonight, Allison welcomes her guest. She's a producer who has podcasted everywhere and is still standing tall. She's seen a million doggies and she's pet them all. It's Renee Colvert. And he's a comedian and the man you want by your side if you ever time traveled to 1987 and forgot your TV guide. It's Ken Reid. Tone Zone is here to explain why the grocery store's self-checkout does not have a mirror. I'm her husband, Daniel, saying hop on board the love bus and say hello to your new best friend, Allison Rosen.
Allison Rosen. Allison Rosen is your new best friend. Allison with her good times never end. Allison Rosen, doing the wavy pencil dance again. Allison Rosen, Allison's your new best friend.
Hello, my little licorice jelly beans. Welcome to another exciting episode of Allison Rosen is Your New Best Friend. That particular carbohydrate was sent in on Patreon. By Cindy Clausen. Now, there was a little bit of controversy because in a Patreon post earlier, I mentioned that my son Owen, who just turned 3, has been calling Skittles Skwittles, and I wanted to make that the carbohydrate, but he's not a subscriber, and I'm not one for nepotism, so until he is old enough to subscribe to my Patreon, which I would recommend everyone does because you get bonus episodes of The Friend Zone. We just had an episode come out with one Tony Thaxton, and everyone on this very episode, which you're listening to right now, has been a Patreon guest probably multiple times, and you can hear all the hot gossip and hot dish and controversial things that could get them canceled. I don't even know what I'm saying. Anyway, lots of behind the scenes stuff, stuff behind the paywall with them. There's a level where you can text me and I'll text you back. You can watch this video and all sorts of fun stuff. And if you subscribe for a year, you get 12 months for the price of 10, so 2 months free. That's the pitch I would give my own son, Owen. So I was saying,
that's a good deal.
Look, the carbohydrate is not going to be Skwittles till you make your own money and subscribe with your own money because you're not getting a free ride just because you're my son. I feel that's just good parenting. But anyway, some people submitted Skwittles as the carbohydrate, and I was really tempted. But then I said, what kind of message would I be sending? So hence, the carbohydrate is...
It might as well be Skwittles. Does anyone remember what the actual carbohydrate was?
Sure
licorice
Sure don't.
jelly beans by
Which I don't even
Cindy.
think are a carbohydrate. Are those
They are.
carbohydrates?
Yeah, carbohydrates are sugars and starches and whatnot. And you know what? I like black licorice jelly beans. And I know that I'm in the minority. We are mighty and we're loud. And we're proud. And I would like to know, when I introduce everyone, how you feel about black licorice as a flavor. Welcome to the show. It's going to be a fun one. Hello, Ken Reid. Hi, welcome.
Hello. Thank you. I'm not a big fan of black licorice. I was the kid on Halloween who would be very angry when someone gave me Good and Plenty's. I was like, fake medicine candy? You can go fuck yourself.
How do you feel about like a Good and Fruity?
Good and Fruity just sounds like an insult. Like, oh, you don't want a Good and Plenty? How about a Good and Fruity for you then?
Right. Good and Fruity also... I like a Good and Plenty. Again, I know it's...
Did you always?
Me or Ken?
Yeah.
Acquired taste like you matured into.
No, yeah. I think I was born with a box of Good and Plenty's in one hand. I've always liked them.
Also, you can imagine growing up in Boston how Good and Fruity would go over.
Yeah, no, I think they make you leave. You have to go to Fire Island.
Yeah, even if you just had one once. Like, my cousin ate a Good and Fruity, and he fucking lives in Florida now.
What about fucking goobers, dude?
Fucking goobers live up in Maine, kid.
Anyway, Good and Fruity, I don't know what fruit it's supposed to be. I don't enjoy them as much. Renee Colvert, welcome back to the show.
Another week of May.
I know, it's a real Renee streak.
I know. I'm over the moon about such a thing, especially because it brought a memory back that was like, oh God, I forgot about how strategic I was in loving, in quotes, black licorice jelly beans, black licorice jelly beans, the bad ones.
Call them BLJs.
As a kid, I forced myself to love them because no one else in the family will eat them. So if there is a bowl that is a communal bowl of jelly beans around Easter, you will strategically get more jelly beans if you can force yourself to like the black ones.
Oh, the level of
I know.
I love you, but the level of codependence in your and I come from a similar family, but like training yourself to like the thing that no one likes so you can take it off everyone's hands and also get more is sad. Right. But so you like them though. We will have you all
terrible.
Oh, you hate them.
That's the whole reason I went to Al-Anon, just to be like, I like black jelly beans, and we have to take this codependency off my plate.
They're like,
no,
we can't help you.
like them.
I like them. What's not to like? They're pretty good.
Aniseed is not a good flavor, and also anise, which derives from the same Latin word as anus, because that's what it looks like.
Is that true?
Yes.
Oh, it does. Anise does look like an anus.
Did you just look that up, or you know that? Is that in your head?
Everybody knows that, right?
No one knows that. No one knows that.
Like every cooking show where they're like, in a little star anise, and you're like, ha, buttholes.
No.
But the Latin root of it?
Are you sure?
I've had a dark butthole my whole life and I didn't even know?
Yeah. She didn't.
Jackie Johnson thought that pregnancy had turned her butthole dark, and it turned out that her butthole has always been dark.
There's a star anise.
No one wants a total eclipse of the butt.
Wait a minute. Are you sure? Tony, we're going to need you to on-buds this.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
I don't even know how one does this.
Yeah, what am I doing?
You're finding out, first of all,
Anus.
you're
Latin
finding out, of anise or anise.
Star anise.
Is
Spell
the
it?
root the same as anus?
This is
We're having fun.
This?
And just that flavor, like if you go to an Italian bakery and everything looks really nice, but everything also tastes like someone sprayed it with licorice perfume. Like just a little bit. Everything.
You know,
Great.
who here is Italian? I know Dan. I know my
If you're not
husband is. I have to say, and I don't usually go for insulting entire cultures. I save that for, that's my co-host, Greg Fitzsimmons on Childishes. That's his job. Italian desserts are not the best. I do like tiramisu, but
They have good names. Zabaglione.
yes, but it tastes, well, my dad used to try to make it a lot when I was growing up. And I've never had like authentic Zabaglione, but I've had what my dad makes, which tasted just like, sort of like a custard that tastes like alcohol. And I don't know if that's
basically red wine custard.
yes, that doesn't sound good to me.
A nice spumoni or a tartufo is nice.
I guess they're okay. I feel like they're all okay, but they're not as good as,
French desserts.
handful of black
Amish
jelly
desserts.
beans. Tony, have you found the butthole spice yet?
No.
Jackie's
I
anus
have
online.
no
No.
idea.
Butthole Spice was kicked out of the Spice Girl. I'm Anus Spice. It's a spice.
All right. While you look that up, let us know, Tony. How do you feel about black jelly beans?
He's like, I can't find it.
I don't know how to look this up.
So Tony, tell us about butt stuff. Do you like it?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I don't like black licorice or jelly beans.
Jelly beans in general.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm not a jelly beansman.
Jelly beansman. Okay. Okay. What is the root of anise? Anise itself is an Old English word from the 13th century Old French anise and ultimately the Greek root anison, which confusingly means both anise and dill. I would have to spend more time with this, though, to get
And
to
dildo.
Ah, it's
there you
right
go.
in front of us this whole time.
Daniel. I know how you feel about black jelly beans. You don't like them.
No, I actually like them now. I always hated them my whole life. But have you guys ever had those little tiny little Italian licorice? They're called chips. They come like individually wrapped and they're like little black with red tips on the end.
No,
Oh,
I've never even
yeah.
seen this.
My stepdad was like obsessed with those things. And they're not even sweet. It's just like, at least with black licorice jelly beans, there's a lot of sugar in there. But if it's just that licorice flavor without the sweet, and like strong, almost like a strong mint, but with that licorice flavor. That really turned me off of that flavor for a long time. But now I like it.
Remember when salted licorice was like, people were like, well, salted caramel's big. Let's do the salted licorice. And there were people who were like, oh, I love it. And I was like, no, you don't.
Is that a Swedish thing?
Yes. Someone sent that in for Snack Chat, which, by the way, we need to hear the Snack Chat drop. And it was...
Snack Chat.
I would describe it as abrasive and saline. It was... I did not enjoy it.
No.
It doesn't sound good. I've never even heard of that till right now.
Yeah, it's just salted licorice. It's it's the same licorice flavor you don't like plus salt.
Yeah, it was like mid-2010s. It had a moment.
Yeah.
I don't want to take us off course, but am I reading the room right? The thing we're mad about is the shape of licorice, and so we want to come after tubes, because if so, Sweet Tarts, what are you doing with these ropes? I cannot have it. The Sweet Tarts used to be so good. They used to be so perfect. No, you're wrong. They used to be so wonderful with their big, that you had your options of your big, you have your options of your little. They were all bite size, and now they come in a rope that's weird.
I've never even had a Sweet Tart rope.
Yeah.
It's only ropes now.
Is it just
only
is it is it a Sweet Tart flavored licorice?
Yeah, how would you describe it, Ken?
It's sort of like it's like a tube, and it has a filling in the middle.
Oh, that's
And
intriguing.
the filling is like where the Sweet Tart flavor is. The tube part is it's sort of flavorless. It's like if you ironed out a Twizzler and filled it with like liquid Sweet Tart.
Is it like a frosting or is it a goo?
It's like a gel. No. It's like a goo.
Oh, no.
Thank you, Allison.
No. Who wanted this?
Yeah.
Nerd ropes.
Nerd ropes
was
I'm
like
into.
a fly paper. It had like nerds stuck to the outside. Like, how do you feel about Spree?
Love Spree.
We can all agree that Spree were great.
Sprees are great.
And are still in non-rope form. So I feel like as a comparable alternative, you could go with Spree.
Okay.
So you can't buy regular Sweet Tarts at all anymore?
They're so hard to find.
Spree was an improvement on the Sweet Tart.
Yeah.
Are we
But
talking?
then Sweet Tarts came back with Shock Tarts. They were like, we're still in the game.
What is that? Something painful? A painful
They were
tart?
They were like sour Sweet Tarts because to compete with the more sophisticated flavor of the Spree.
Now, are we talking like little Sweet Tarts that are like Alka-Seltzer size, or are we talking chewy Sweet Tarts? You can't find any of them. They're all ropes.
Both.
Renee's the one with the scoop here. I don't know about this. Maybe it's a supply chain thing.
It might be, but I've looked high and low. I can't find them. I have to order expired from Amazon.
Oh my
it's terrible.
God. Oh my God. Well, I have an update before we move on to other stuff. We are recording this ahead of time. This is going to air in a few weeks, so things might have changed. But as of right now, Tony and I just recorded a Monday episode where we put out a call for a young person czar, which would be a young person who can periodically weigh in on young people issues. Because I have heard that there's something going on with the thumbs up emoji. People you're not supposed to use it. It doesn't mean,
What?
Yeah, I know. I'm seeing a lot of furrowed brows. It doesn't,
Sex thing?
it's not a sexting thing, Ken.
That's what I assume all emoji things you're not supposed to use are.
No, you can use it, but, so I had just heard, like, it doesn't mean what we think it means. So then when I do, like,
Yes,
a tap...
it fucking does.
No, it doesn't, though. And that's what I heard. And so I'm like, I need a young person czar. So if you want to be our young person czar, write in. And I'm going to give you an update on that. But anyway, a few people wrote in to let me know that it's seen as like a passive aggressive thing if you use it. So it's the
like,
equivalent.
okay.
Sarcastic.
Yeah.
All right.
It's the equivalent of writing like just K, like a response to like K. Yeah.
But every kiss begins with K.
That's what I heard too. But anyway, it's okay to use it as a tap back. Because like, when you just put like a heart to someone's text, I've stopped just doing a thumbs up because I didn't know if there was some reason not to do that. But it's okay to do the thumbs up tap back. But just a thumbs up response to a text is like, okay. So
Not
anyway,
the actual text. Okay.
we do have...
Text me, so it's not a problem.
We do have a guy named Isaac has written in. He's in the running for the young person czar. He is 23. He's been listening for 7 years.
Love that.
And I feel like he's currently running unopposed. Now, by the time this airs, it's only been a day at the time we're recording this. I got to give it more time to see, we got to see who comes out of the woodwork in terms of young people. But I feel like he's got a great shot right now. So pretty soon we're going to be so young and so hip.
History.
I know.
I feel like it's necessary. Yeah. He's got the whole back catalog.
I know.
What's the math there? That's like 40% of his life.
Feels like 40% of mine.
It's about.
Yeah.
I know.
Seems
it's
accurate.
pretty great. And there was something else that I was going to say that really strongly related to that, and I don't know what it is. So let's. Oh yes, I know what I was going to say.
But
What?
well,
Daniel?
hold on.
What?
If the thumbs up is sarcastic, what is the emoji?
It's not sarcastic. It's passive aggressive. That's what every young person has written in to say.
So what about thumbs down?
But what's the emoji to mean what the thumbs up is supposed to mean? Like, what is the non-sarcastic?
It's not the okay sign. We know
I
that.
think
No.
it's painstakingly typing, okay, sounds good, I appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Right.
Like an acknowledgement, a sort of a sincere acknowledgement.
This is where we need the czar. And
Yeah. We do. We really do.
I don't know.
Now-
If it's young people, it might just be like underboob. That seems to be how they communicate everything these days. It's like that flag. What's the flag language?
Right. And should I not even be using the term czar right now? Is that tone deaf?
Oh, boy.
I think because of what's going on in the world.
Oh yeah, nice work, Allison.
Yeah, so what should we call them?
Real pickle.
Liaison.
Oh, yeah, I should liaise with the young people.
That sounds good.
Oh, euthanasia.
Okay.
Let's do it. All right. So anyway, today, for no reason whatsoever, even though I have a bunch of theories of reasons, I have been feeling very melancholy. Here's my potential reasons. Again, though, when this airs, I could be on top of the world. Here's the possible reasons. I'm overtired. Where I am in my cycle, which is premenstrual, prime melancholy time. We are going on a trip, and we haven't traveled in this entire pandemic, so I feel like that could be stirring up some stuff. I recently got in touch with a friend from college who I haven't been in touch with in a really long time, and that is so exciting, but I just feel like it potentially, I don't know, like, it doesn't make sense that would be making me melancholy, though, except that it's like the sort of like there's so much nostalgia attached with that, but I'm
Nostalgia.
like genuinely
Yeah,
like
that stirs
really
up
happy about
melancholy.
that. And then also a couple people now I've heard have been like, a new variant's going to be here in 3 weeks, and that is depressing. By the time you hear this, it'll be like 4 days from now. Oh, and then I recently, and Daniel and I got into this on an episode that has aired by the time you hear this. I switched pharmacies, and my brain pills, I take the generic, but it's a different manufacturer. And I'm concerned that might be having an effect. It's only 2 days now on the different, it's the same pill, same dosage, but a different manufacturer. And I'm concerned. You think that won't be affecting me? I'm concerned that could be, though.
No, it shouldn't.
Anyway, so all that is going on.
When I picked up your brain pills, there were a couple gentlemen using a new kind of brain pill that looked pretty good. They were smoking crack.
Oh, it's a vape pill.
Yeah.
Wait, what? So anyway, I just want to know when you guys are feeling this way, because I know that we're all a bunch of people who are in touch with our emotions or in touch with not feeling great sometimes. What do you guys do? And I know that it's like, and I'm not talking about like, I volunteer. Well, you know what? If that's what you do, great. But I just mean when you're in that, like, I do not even have the energy to do anything big. Because I was just like, I should just I didn't even, and I know this sounds ridiculous, but like, I didn't even have it in me to like post an Instagram story about how I was feeling. I'm like, I don't even have words right now. I don't even want to open my mouth and talk. And for me to not have words, I am like such a wordy bitch. Something's going on. So I was like, I just want to put on music that's going to make me feel better. What's music that you can't feel sad when you're listening to? So I put on Don't Stop or We'll Die. Paul Rust, Michael Cassidy, Tony Thaxton. And that did lift my mood. And now I'm doing this show, which always makes me feel better. But yeah, I was just wondering, like, what's your like immediate go-to when you're feeling crappy?
I will say this is the most up I've been in a while. I've been particularly bad. Like, I feel like the last 2 years have unfixably broke me.
Oh, no.
And I am fat and sad and tired all the time. And I have been having a particularly bad time in the last couple months. Like, my 2019 into now has just been a snowball of misery. I feel completely useless and out of control, and also have zero motivation to do anything.
I think a lot of people are feeling that right now.
Yeah.
And I'm having major anxiety and like weird panic dreams. Like, I wake up in a panic like I did last night. And I also have this feeling that like I'm seeing people out doing things, and to me it looks like they're like burned and their clothes are all tattered and they're like pretending to drive cars and stuff.
Wait,
And
that's
I'm
it
like, but
in
you're
your
not really driving a car.
in your dreams, or like that's how?
I don't literally see this, but
Okay.
that's how I feel like when people are out there, and I'm like, oh, you guys, are you having a nice pretend that things were like they used to be, and they're not.
Right.
Like, they're having tea parties, you know?
Right.
And that makes me feel crazy and also just like sad.
Like, because to you the pandemic has I'm putting words in your mouth, but is this what you're saying? Like, the pandemic has irrevocably changed reality and the world as you know it, and people are acting as if they've resumed their lives and things are normal, but you're looking at it like this is like craziness, like things are not the same as they were. You can't act like they're the same.
That is certainly it. Yes, and also nobody seems to be acknowledging the incredibly massive ongoing trauma.
Right.
Like, the other day on the news, they showed pictures of like the bodies in cardboard boxes and on refrigerator trucks, and I'm like, oh, you guys remember that last year? That was kind of like,
yeah.
I was thinking about that recently, about how we're coming very close to 1 million people report that we know, right? Like, we could very easily be well over that. But we have not had any kind of national mourning over this.
Right.
No moment of silence. You know, like all those performative things we do when there's a national tragedy, we haven't done anything to acknowledge this massive thing that has just happened in our society. And that is, I think, on some level, fucking us up.
yeah. Oh, yeah. It's really
Crazy making.
Part of it is my age. I think we're all roughly of similar age, and this is the kind of time when like people we know who we grew up with start to die for like non-COVID related reasons as well. So even people that are, you know, some old friends, just people that I knew, kids I went to high school with, in the last year, probably 10 of them have died from non-COVID things. And that would be tough anyway, but combined with the fact that you see these 1 million people die and no one gives a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, people just
Right.
people just move on with their day. Which partly I'm like, I get that. Like, you need, like, you have to, or else no one would do anything. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, you just don't matter. Like, people at work will die, and then they're like, oh yeah, they died anyway. This thing that doesn't matter. You know what I mean? You're like, someone. I wish I could remember who said this, but they called this the apocalypse that you still have to go to work. And I'm like,
accurate.
yeah, it's yeah. Sorry, I'm
Correct
capitalizing
me
the misery.
if I'm wrong. My brain may be playing tricks on me, but didn't Biden do a moment of silence right
when
before he got
first came in,
inaugurated?
he had all the lights, the
But
candles.
then
Yes.
When we hit
but it
like
wasn't
600,000.
wasn't
I forgot
enough.
about that.
Yeah,
I think because
exactly.
it wasn't a Band-Aid ripoff. Like, you know, not that we compare tragedies, but people, you know, 9/11 was 3,000 people. We literally were losing that a day. And it's just not this, because it wasn't like an immediate.
I think right. It's because it's so amorphous and there's not yet bookends. I think it's really hard to know when and how to process it. And I'm not speaking to like the lack of leadership giving us a way to process it. I just mean in general, like, how and when do we process it? I don't know, because it's ongoing.
There's also like a lot of our energy is spent pushing back against this extremely loud minority of people who want to just say it's not a thing at all.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and it's like, I feel like so much energy. I spend way too much energy thinking about people who are just arguing against reality.
Yeah, like what the fuck is wrong with you people? Like, or like when that stupid trucker convoy thing happened right at the same time as what's broke out in Ukraine, and I'm like, look at what's happening there, you fucking idiots! And you're like, I want to drive my truck.
But what were they even protesting? They were protesting against mandates that don't exist.
Yeah.
What mandates are you talking about? You can do everything out here.
Just to be so completely unaware, have no lack of self-awareness, where like people with actual freedoms being taken away exist in the world, and you're like, I want to go to my NASCAR down NASCAR. Like,
so
no one has perspective. Like,
no
selflessness. It just doesn't exist. I don't know.
We need a national cry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We need to just like...
We should just have a time, and it should be a time of the day every day. Because I certainly have some tears.
Well, there was like, during the AIDS epidemic, they had that quilt that would travel around. And you'd see that quilt, and it would just be like... And you'd see it every so often. It would like come to a new city, and you'd have that feeling of perspective and how much, loss of life there was. And it was just like, oh... But like this is just like. Do
you think people have changed? Like, I feel like there's a selfishness and a short-sighted, willful ignorance that people have developed in this exponentially larger way from then, where they can just block it out, like it just doesn't matter.
I feel like everybody's in survival mode. And to that point, I'm so curious about this. The little image I have is stupid, but when like all those lobsters are in a bucket, none of them can get out. Do you suppose it's helpful to have empathy? Because my impetus, what I wanted to be like, guys, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you're going through that. Me too. Also me. Yeah. I don't know what is. I think there's also the lack of like, you can't get anybody to like really recognize what you're going through, because the person you're telling, you're just like, oh God, but look what you're going through. So never mind. So I feel like it's also real, like even to therapists, you're just like, this is real hard.
Like you can't commiserate.
There's also not being heard. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can commiserate, but you can't be comforted.
Right.
I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the thing too. It's so unprecedented. There's no comfort in that. Oh, when this happened last time, we wait till whatever. And like, I just feel like unfixably broken. Like it's, there's no end in sight. And then also just the fact that you would think like an end times kind of thing would feel sort of freeing. Like there'd be like a blissful nihilism. Like, well, nothing matters. Let's just spend the time with our fitness. But it doesn't feel like that. It just feels like, well, I don't know what the fucking point is. Well, I wasted a lot of years.
Yeah. The thing about that sort of freeing nihilism is that I've had, and I'm having trouble articulating this, but I've had this sense of like this, if this is like the dawning of the apocalypse, it's so slow moving. Like you really have a lot of time to look around and be like, should I buy a gun? You really have a lot of time to plan for what you're going to do, and then like put it off.
Have a 401k?
Yeah.
Will I wish I spent that money? Because we'll all be dead in 5 years. Like, will we even have a thing to retire to?
But okay, but back to my question. But to the point of like, is there any sort of like immediate thing you do to feel better? Yeah, to make yourself feel better. Like, is there? And I know it's really hard, but is there anything you do? Like, I tried with music.
I mean, I have comfort TV shows. Those tend to help. I mean, I'm broken with TV, but like, there are funny, sweet shows that are sort of life affirming. Like, I've actually really come to love Gilmore Girls.
Look at that!
It's really great. But the vibe of that is so just like, you just feel okay. Like Newhart's a show like that for me. Night Court's a show like that for me. Like, and I'll just sit there and watch them, and then also I eat like a pig.
I've seen some of the cakes you buy, and you have wonderful tasting cake.
Oh yeah. I will literally overnight like a $200 cake, FedEx to my house.
Do you have a favorite
That
cake?
is the way to live.
What's
Yeah,
your
where these
favorite?
cakes
What's your desert island cake?
Oh, that's a good question. Junior's Cheesecake in New York does a cheesecake that has cherry pie in the middle.
What?
And it's fantastic. That's one of my favorites. There's also a coconut cake, a true coconut cake, not just a white cake with coconut in the frosting, which is, and that's really good. There's also a bakery in LA that I miss because I haven't been to LA in so long called Valerie.
Oh yeah.
And this woman takes all the signature recipes from a classic LA restaurants that no longer exist and makes them. So she has like a cake that they used to do at the Brown Derby, which is this grapefruit cake. And, all the old Hollywood, and like some of her cakes are amazing. She has an Earl Grey tea cake that's just like unbelievably good.
Yes, she has. So there's this cake that my mom grew up in Northern California, and she used to talk about Blum's coffee crunch cake, which was some famous. Oh, do you know it? It's like a famous coffee. It's a
got
cake.
Honeycombs.
Yes, it's got
It's like crunchy honeycomb.
Yeah, crunchy like burnt sugar, honeycomb stuff on the outside. So I surprised her for her birthday because this was like something she used to love when she was growing up. So I found that and got that. And I've gotten that for her a few times and she loves it. Oh my God. Speaking of things that are delicious, I want to tell you guys about Good Chop. They are America's online butcher. With Good Chop, you get a flexible monthly subscription plan for high quality American meat and seafood. Choose the medium or large plan and enjoy your favorite cuts of beef, chicken, pork, and seafood. Delivered flash frozen for freshness and sealed with dry ice inside an insulated box. Just last night, I got out my sous vide machine again, and I have been. Yeah, you know who's fancy? I'm fancy.
You are.
That's
Allison.
right. And I was eating delicious chicken breast that I had sous vide'd, and I don't know if that's even the correct way to. What is the past tense of sous vide? I don't know. I had sous vide. But anyway, it was from Good Chop. So delicious. So they give you easy access to high quality products, convenient contact-free delivery right to your doorstep, fully customizable boxes. And we have tried it all. You can order well-marbled Angus choice and prime cuts or get delicious 100% grass-fed steaks, whatever you prefer. We had scallops from Good Chop. So good. The seafood is sustainable and wild caught, whether you want salmon, Pacific cod, or something else. Something for everyone. Mouth-watering ribeyes, flavorful T-bones, wild-caught salmon, tender chicken breasts, and more. And it's only the good stuff. Good Chop especially prides itself on sourcing beef that comes with no antibiotics, no added hormones, ever, 100% money-back guarantee. Go to goodchop.com/bestfriend100 and use code bestfriend100 to get $100 off your first 3 boxes. Again, that is goodchop.com/bestfriend100 and use code bestfriend100 to get $100 off your first 3 boxes. Good Chop, America's online butcher. Also, want to tell you guys about Brightland. If you're like me, you love olive oil, but there's a lot of inferior olive oil out there. Some quote-unquote olive oils are actually blends made with inferior or old oils damaged by exposure to light, heat, or air, or made with fillers. It's really gross when you think about it. This podcast is sponsored by Brightland, a California-based company that offers fresher, healthier olive oils and vinegars made only from the freshest local harvest, grown without pesticides, never overprocessed, and made without fillers or artificial preservatives. Brightland only works with small, California-based family-run farms. Their partner farms use no herbicides or pesticides that harm workers and the planet and pay all workers fair and legal wages. So you really feel good about about the effect that you're having when you buy Brightland oil. Only the most recent olive harvest goes into Brightland oil, and each bottle is labeled with its harvest date. Olives are harvested early in the season and pressed within 90 minutes of harvest for the highest quality oil possible with the best flavor. Brightland oils are shipped right to you in recyclable bottles that are coated to protect the oils from UV light damage, and they use sustainable packaging for shipping. If you love to cook, Brightland has you covered with the Duo, a well-rounded pair of extra virgin olive oils that will elevate any dish. The Duo consists of Awake and Alive, things that I want to feel all the time. Awake is an olive oil full of robust flavor that works well with breads and hearty soups. Alive is a smoother olive oil, perfect for roasted vegetables and salads. And if you're like me, you'll taste each of them and you'll be like, I like that one better. No, I like that one better. No, I like that one better. You'll like both. You'll like both of them better. They're both so good. Go to brightland.co/bestfriend to try the duo and give your cooking some added flair and flavor. That's Brightland, brightland.co/bestfriend to save 10% on your order of the duo. Again, brightland.co/bestfriend to save 10% on your order of the duo. Thanks, Brightland, for sponsoring this podcast. Okay. Okay. Oh my God. Yes. Renee, what do you do to feel better?
Oh, great question. It goes in two facets. So I think for me, and then like, God, I wonder what's actually happening. Mine is always connection. I live alone, and so I'm lonely, will always be what's actually happening. So if I'm going to be healthy, I will take a walk and connect with nature and the dog. I'll call a friend. I'll text somebody. I'll write to connect to myself. But more often than not, I'm not feeling healthy, and I don't want to do that. Yeah. So I just completely numb out. And I'll do that with TV, or a middle-aged woman will get herself on TikTok and scroll and scroll just to like, I'm not acknowledging this. This isn't happening.
That's one of my, but I don't necessarily do that when I feel sad. That's like my, in fact, you'll know this if you're on TikTok. You know that TikTok sound that's like, it's like a reward.
Yeah.
I like to get in bed.
Yeah.
I like to make my room really cold, and then I like to make my bed warm, courtesy of a heat pad. And then I get in, and then I put on my reading glasses, and then I scroll TikTok. And that is like, and then I feel very happy when I'm doing that.
Fuck.
Yeah, that's right.
So, I've been doing
It's comforting.
It is.
It is like, I get the dog, like I just want to sit and hug my 3 dogs in the nice warm bed all the time in the cold room. But one thing I've been doing that's, I don't know if it makes me happy, but it's like a nice distraction, is I started reading like music magazines again.
That's
and, like,
good.
back issues, and I have like my old Spin magazine alternative rock record guide, and just flipping through it, like I can put on my smart speakers and like read about an album and then immediately listen to it that I haven't listened to in years and years and years. And that's been kind of fun, although occasionally I'll be like, oh, I remember when I listened to this when I was 15, you know, but it sometimes backfires, but that's been like a somewhat decent light.
There's never a bad time to rock and roll, man.
Tony, what about you?
Best drops.
Kind of the same as everybody else has been saying. Nothing. It's a constant struggle to figure out what's going to work. But yeah, it's usually just ends being snuggling on the couch with the dog, watching some TV or listening to music. That's about
What
it.
about do you play drums when you feel upset?
That actually is often helpful, but it's weird. I always forget that it actually is helpful, but it does tend to help. But it's hard sometimes to feel motivated enough to do that and play, or if it's like late at night or something too. It's like, yeah. So
I've been building guitars.
Whoa.
I have no idea how to really do it, but I've been doing like buying broken guitars and like building and refurbishing guitars, which is fun. But then when I finish, I'm like, that was a waste of fucking time. Or like, I'll be like, oh, this is what the fuck? So it's like a weird, it's good in the moment, but then after I feel bad.
Yeah. There is a lot of nothing matters that is going on, right? And none of it matters. This is even intense things. You're just like, eh.
Wait.
And I don't know if that's...
Yes. Oh, no. You go ahead.
Oh, I don't know if that's a coping mechanism or a revelation, but it is I think I'd be curious to see, and might get dark, so maybe we shouldn't, but what part of ourselves do we think is unrecoverable?
Right.
What part will we not be seeing again? And I think mine might be the hope that it's going to work out. I'm just like, yeah, well, all right. I lost my hope. Now I just kind of cope.
Yeah. Wait, hang on. I want to come back to that. Ken, are you making electric guitars?
Yeah.
And like, are you soldering and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's cool. Why do you feel bad about it afterwards?
Because sometimes they like don't sound great, or like I didn't do a great job soldering it, or I was like I just spent a week repainting and like clear coating like a guitar for no reason.
But
and
that's
now I
really
have like
cool.
15 guitars. Like I donated some to like a kid's music program. It's not like they're expensive. Like I'll buy a box of like broken guitars for like $50 and get like 3 guitars out of it. But
I feel I don't understand the. I mean, do you? But I don't understand the shame. This seems like such a cool thing to do.
I just
It's a
feel like
very
I'm not
cool
good
thing.
at it, and then sometimes like
But you're learning.
And I've always had this problem. Like if I don't do something, like I have like an unobtainable goal, or I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, well, this is. There are people who do this, and I don't do that. Like,
Well, this is you're speaking Daniel's language. Daniel, who's like one of the.
who's good at nothing.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Being really hard, being so hard on himself is what I'm saying. Like he's an amazing artist, and he'll be doing like an amazing piece of art, and then he'll be like, "I think maybe I'm like a little bit better at this," and I'm like, "Are you kidding? Like this is amazing."
Yeah. Can confirm.
Oh, that's
Double.
nice.
Yes. Have seen it. It's incredible.
Yeah. I definitely relate, Ken. I think. Can I chime in on what makes me happy,
Yes,
Allison?
please.
Please do.
Makes everyone else. First of all, drawing these days has been like it's all I want to do. Because it's just like I feel like I can get better, and I can just like spend the time, I can see results, and it's like it just feels good to do it. Spending time, like sometimes just spending quality time with the boys often, even though it can often be a huge headache because it's just like work. It's like being, like I say, it's like being chief stew on a yacht for ultra rich.
Because they're demanding.
But also there's just like that sweetness. And then I took up jogging like 6 months ago. And even though that I sometimes have to push myself to get out the door, being out in nature, we have this, we're close to a great running area, and it's like being out in nature and the fresh air. It's so stupid because, it's like your grandmother would always go, get some fresh air. But it's like, you know what? That actually does make me feel better. And the routine of that now where it's like I'll go and the sun is sort of setting. It's like it does help the state of mind. But, Renee, what you were talking about with like, and Ken, you were talking about this too, this thing of like the purposelessness of it. It's like, I definitely relate to that in a huge way, but I also think maybe in some ways it's a good thing because I think we're so like, we live in a society that's like brainwashed us all to think that if you're not productive in a particular way, then you're basically useless. Like your life has no purpose. And of course that's insane. I mean, there's people who have disabilities and they can't work. Does their life not have meaning? Of course it does. Right. And so you go like, sometimes it's not a bad thing to just pick up I'm saying this to justify the fact that I do this. I will get hyper focused on something that is completely freaking like has no point. Like I'll make like a statue and it's like, why did I do that?
Well, show us the statue, please.
It's
for
this
this
is
is
wild,
Patreon.
like-
Get on
Patreon.com.
Totem,
Patreon.
is it like-
Patreon.
I like that. It's an
Holy
owl.
cow.
Twin
Oh, it's
Peaks.
Twin Peaks.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
Daniel,
you
that's
got Captain
remarkable.
Drool Cup and the man from the other side.
that's right.
Oh my
A
God.
giant.
He sculpted that from nothing.
That's
amazing.
incredible.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
incredible.
But why? Like,
Did you have
I
fun
could have
doing
been
it?
spending time. Like, it's not like I'm gonna have a career making that.
Yeah,
it's
but
like
did you
it's not like
doing it? That's
the
what matters.
the skill or whatever that I develop doing that is gonna yield anything ever. It's just fun, and I think I would often feel very like, "Ugh, I'm wasting my time," like you were saying, Ken. But I think lately I'm trying to change my thinking about that and say like, it's worthwhile engaging in the process of creating and it's okay to do things that don't have a benefit to society or whatever. And not everything has to be producing for the world, and it's hard to feel that way when there's so many problems. I feel like, why am I not out in the community, volunteering or whatever? But it's like, you got to take care of your soul, and that's one way to do it. So, and then Ken, you gave those guitars to kids, like, so it's totally not at all like useless.
Agree.
Ken, you interviewed oh my God, I'm blanking on his name. The brother from
Rob Stone.
Yes. Kevin from Mr. Belvedere.
Yeah.
How was
before
it?
the show.
The older brother, the one who everyone thinks there was that urban legend that he was Marilyn Manson, but he's not.
No. He was roommates with Doug Benson.
I forgot about that. Yes.
Yeah. He directs now. Yeah, it's funny. I've now had all 3 of the children from Mr. Belvedere on my show.
Oh my gosh.
And the entire ABC 1988 Battle of the Network Stars team.
Wow.
Ooh.
How
now,
was
did they
it?
confirm the story about Belvedere sitting on his nuts?
So yes, we did talk about that. So I had Bryce on, and Bryce, who was Wesley, was like, that absolutely didn't happen. And then like 6 months later, he called me and he's like, that did happen. And he said that that Rob told him that it did. So I asked Rob, and Rob was like, well, I'll say this. Christopher had to take a few days off, and I'll leave it at that.
Oh wow.
So basically confirmed. But that story came from Doug Benson.
Okay.
Because Doug Benson used to go to all the tapings because he basically lived on Rob's couch.
I did not know that. What was the sister's name?
Tracy Wells?
Yeah, what was her name on the show?
Heather.
And what's she doing now?
She's a real estate agent in the Valley. A very good one if you need a rent or a house.
Get
or
out!
Sort of real estate advice. And she's awesome. She's like a very successful real estate agent.
I think I would go to Sharona if I needed a realtor. Isn't she a realtor now too?
Didn't I tell you I used to talk to her all the time?
Sharona from My Sharona.
Yeah.
Oh.
She's a big time realtor out here in LA.
That makes sense.
When did you talk to her?
Tracy?
No. I was asking. Sorry, I was asking Daniel when he talked to Sharona because he just said he
I
talked
was
to...
working for a producer who was looking to buy a house, and she was his realtor, and so I talked to her.
I thought you were accusing him like, when did you talk to Sharona? I thought you didn't talk to her.
No, but
News to me.
God, maybe we should go to Tracy Wells if we need a realtor. Okay, I think it is time to say hello and welcome to our new patrons.
Allison wants to say thank you to a couple of special people out there who signed up to be new patrons. Patreon.com/AllisonRosen.
Okay, so I say hello and welcome to the new patrons, and I'd like to remind you guys this is recorded ahead of time, so this is not by the time. So you might be hearing this and you might be thinking, I have signed up. Where's my shout out? Just don't you worry. It'll all be taken care of when don't even worry. Okay. Hello and welcome to Karen. She signed up for an annual subscription. Hello and welcome to Jean Bean Baxter. Yes, the one, Jean Bean Baxter. And hello and welcome to Allie and Bean, who signed up for an annual subscription. So we now have Allie and Bean listening. I love you guys. Hello and welcome. I hope you're enjoying it. And I think what made them want to sign up was Tony on a Friend Zone episode. So thank you, Tony.
So I'll just invoice you.
Yeah, just invoice me. Just subtract it from the 40,000 you owe me for producing in person.
Great.
Yeah. So reminder: sign up for an annual subscription, get 2 months free.
That's a good deal.
What a deal. Okay. Speaking of money, you guys, Tony feels strongly that self-checkout in stores is superior to regular checkout. And I just want to know how you feel about it. Ooh, excellent sound effect. Ooh. I don't like self-checkout. For me, I find it stressful because I feel like something is going to go wrong, and then I'm going to be holding up the line, and then I'm going to be trying to find a person to help me, and it's just, I would rather, and I'm like an introvert, so it's weird that I'm opting for having having to interact with someone. But I steer clear of self-checkout because it never goes well for me.
I
Fair.
agree. It's every single time something goes wrong and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I bought that seltzer. I didn't make the thing. And then they're like, it's fine. But you feel like an idiot.
Yeah.
And also I'm kind of like, I'm paying supermarket prices. Why am I doing a job they pay other people to do?
Oh, the dark side of people who don't like self-checkout.
Has anyone tried those? I mean, Amazon is kind of the devil, but has anyone tried their new the supermarkets, the fresh ones where you don't
Oh
pay?
no.
There's
I have
one
not.
close by to us. Yeah, but no.
Is there? Interesting.
Yeah, there's one over. I think it's on Lancashire, or it's over there in like North Hollywood.
I like that idea. Like you literally just fill your cart and leave. They bill you.
The SNL sketch of that was fantastic.
Oh, I haven't seen it. What
This is
happens?
great. They did a great job. It was, I bet that works out well for white people, but if you're not white, this is something I don't believe I can trust you on.
Yeah. It's kind of like in the old Western where the guy throws a gun at someone's foot and they're like, pick up the gun. It's like, you're going to pick it up.
Yeah.
Renee, self-checkout?
Self-checkout. Yeah, well, and I'm so curious to hear Tony's case of why
Right.
he is
His
for
defense.
it. I am also for, I think the only time I won't grab it is if I have produce. I kind of don't know the code. What's bananas?
Right.
Anybody know what the
You got to look it up in
bananas
the
is?
booklet.
Yeah. But no, for the most part, I like it. It's fun. It makes me feel capable.
All right.
But I
The
can
code
understand.
is usually on the little stickers that are on the produce.
Okay. Well, too late. I already bellowed to the store. What's the code for bananas?
All right. We got
Nobody
2
responded.
pro, 2 anti. Daniel?
Well, I'm going to split the difference, and I'm going to say I don't mind it if it's a few items and I'm at the grocery store, but I made the mistake of doing it at a CVS, and the problem at a drugstore is that many of the items require assistance, and I don't know about the drugstore closer to you, but at ours it's very low staffed, and I had to wait a long time, and I could have just gone right to the thing and been out of there. So never again.
That you're making my point. You have underlined and highlighted my point.
But at the drugstore or
That's-
at the
yeah, that's
supermarket, if you're
that's
just getting a couple things in and out, although I always feel guilty because I used to work at a grocery store. You know, those are often union jobs. These are people who.
Oh, you feel like a scab? You feel like you're crossing
It's a little bit like it. You know, there's a Ralph's near my old apartment, and years ago when I moved in there, the Ralph's, they had no self checkout, and you get to know the people who work there, and it's like, oh, so this is like a woman who has a couple kids and she's middle aged, whatever. And then by the time I moved out, they had the self checkout, and her job was no longer interacting with people; it was standing next to the self checkout, waiting for people to make a mistake or whatever. And it's just like,
Those folks anticipate needs, the likes of which I have never seen before. Right as I'm asking for, well, how do I? She's already there. She's got it. Do you need a bag? Absolutely. Nope. Actually, you do this for the credit card. They know. They've seen it. They've seen it all.
there's a guy
If
who works.
they're there.
There's a guy who works at the Ralph's in West LA on Olympic and Barrington, who
No one's going there, Daniel.
Oh, you talking about Jimmy?
this guy, I forget his name. He will, as he's checking out, he'll create like rap the whole time. He'll rhyme everything
Maybe they are going
that
there.
you're checking out, and it's like musical and it's amazing. And it's like Tony wants to put that guy out of business.
I will say the worst self-checkout is at Home Depot and Lowe's. Like, the fact they even have it there is ridiculous. And every single person I see try to use it is an idiot.
There's
They're
no
trying to
choice at our Home Depot. You have to do self-checkout.
They're like self-checking out with like 9-foot-long boards and like cinder blocks. Like, that doesn't work.
All right, Tony, defend your honor.
Well, I live alone, so I'm usually not buying a ton of groceries or anything. So I'm usually not. It's not like a ton of things I'm buying. So going through self checkout is always easy. And as I said the other day, I pretty much do all of my errands during the week because my schedule allows me to do that when places aren't busy. So yeah, it's just all like I've gone to places if they are busier and I'm only buying a couple of things. Like I've literally gone in stores and noticed people in line, and then I go get my thing and go through self-checkout, and I'm out of there and they're still in line.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you were like an advocate. Like you'd notice them in line and be like, come with me
No.
to the self-checkout.
Hell no.
There are no lines there.
No. We got it. We rely on you guys to need the checker so that we can get it out.
Exactly.
That being said, I've only done like Instacart for the last 2 years.
Same.
I've not been in a supermarket, so it's kind of academic.
Same.
That's fair.
I used to love the grocery store. The weirdest
too.
thing would happen. Daniel and I would go to the grocery store, and for some reason, Daniel, I hope you're okay with me revealing the secret intimacies of our marriage.
Does it matter?
Those are good stuff. Those are good stuff.
For some reason, around the
turn the lights
frozen
down.
food section or somewhere else, I would always wind up putting my arms around Daniel and just like feeling such intense affection for him at the grocery store.
Yeah.
I don't know
Grocery
why.
stores were
That's
kind of
so
our
sweet.
thing.
Yeah, it's. it wasn't a sensual kind of thing. It was
No,
just.
it really wasn't.
It really.
It feels like family. It's a family
Maybe.
thing.
I don't know. Yeah.
We went to friggin' Maui, and like one of the first things we did on our honeymoon, and one of the first things we did was go to a grocery store, like a pavilion.
And he was so
And it
pissed
was-
about that.
And it was
see, I
like
did- when I would
exactly like
travel-
our pavilions. I'm like, this is like just being at home.
I know, and
When
I was like, I
traveled,
love
was
that.
like my go-to. I always go to the I used to love like going to the grocery store every week.
Yeah.
Was like the highlight of my week. I go up and down every aisle. I
Ken,
just like really enjoyed.
we should
maybe-
travel together.
Yeah, maybe you should travel with us.
Yeah, I like to go up and down every
I
aisle
think-
too. That's my thing. It's my thing.
And I think the grocery store has set the scene for you with that music
Yes.
playing along, because the exact same thing that makes you feel affectionate, I think makes single people feel profoundly lonely. And oh boy, we'll buy so much more.
Oh
We'll buy
my God.
so much more
I forgot
to
about
comfort
this.
the soul.
Very early,
I
just mere.
think it's scientific.
Very early,
Yeah,
just
sure.
mere everyone. I think I brought this up. I had Mark Maron on my show in like it was like one of the first 10 episodes of my show, I think. And
Is
my
that the guy that played Skippy on Family Ties?
yes, no, but I actually had Mark Price on my show too, not on Allison Rose's Your Best Friend, the podcast, but when it was Allison Rose's Your Best Friend. No, maybe it was the Daily Allison, my web show. I have I know Mark Price, but anyway, and I remember he had some crazy story he was telling me. That does seem like him. Okay, so anyway, I had this like. There was a period of time where I would go to the grocery store. I would hear Evanescence. I believe that was who played the song Need You Now. And I would fucking burst into tears at the grocery store. And I was already dating Daniel. And then I would tell, and I don't know if you remember this, Daniel, I would like tell Daniel about it, or I would think about it, and then I would burst into tears again.
I do remember that.
Is it
Did you get
Evanescence?
to the bottom of that? What that
No,
was
I
about?
never did.
I'll admit this. Oftentimes at the grocery store, for whatever reason, when Duran Duran's "Say a Prayer for Me" comes on, I will start crying.
Sure.
Only at the grocery store, and I don't know why.
What is it?
And I think I Need You Now might be Lady A.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what
that
I'm
sounds
seeing,
right.
Country song?
Googling it. Yeah.
Yes, that makes more
very
sense than
different
Evanescence.
bands.
Duran, Lady A, they're all coming for you.
Do you guys know that song, Need You Now?
No.
Oh, yeah. It's a quarter after one. I'm a little drunk.
I do know that song.
It's
Yeah.
like my
Of course you
eyes
know.
are getting wet right now.
What is it about that song?
I don't know, but it makes me really sad.
Well, it's the 21st century Michelle Branch.
I guess. Wait, which one is Duran Duran? Which is your sad song?
Say a prayer for me now. Save it till the morning after. Or Ordinary World will also do it.
There's something about walking down an aisle and hearing a song at the grocery store that, yeah, it's a lot of emotion happens at a grocery store.
It'll get you.
But anyway,
I'd
I
be
was looking
curious
at.
to see. I'm so sorry, Allison.
No, I'm sorry.
Stop interrupting.
I was just going to say, I
am so sorry.
was looking at my credit card summaries for the year and just thinking like, damn, we have spent a lot more on groceries than we would have if we had been shopping in person because Instacart and the tipping and all that. I mean, and I'm in favor of that. Thank you for risking your lives so that we could just sit on our asses. But it's like way more expensive.
Yeah.
What were you going to say,
Absolutely.
Renee?
Mine, it didn't matter. I wanted to see an experiment of, I wonder how the music in grocery store started, and was it because in the absence of music, everybody's just annoyed and irritated?
Maybe.
I'm just curious to see.
They're just walking around not
Have you ever
crying.
gone into a store with no music and it's really uncomfortable?
Yeah, it's weird.
You're like,
No fun.
Is everything okay? Are they being robbed right now? Like,
I don't think I've ever had a dry shopping experience, a no music
not
shopping
fun.
experience. I think it's time to do iTunes comment of the week. This is where we read an iTunes comment from a listener.
Allison wants your iTunes comments. Allison wants them, yes she does. Please leave her some iTunes comments and don't forget to click 5 stars.
This one is by DHJDDBJUG. Jug. And the headline is 3 lips emojis, 5 stars. And then it is a bashful face, a lips emoji, and a bashful face. Thank you.
Not
thumbs
one
up.
thumbs up in there.
Not one thumbs up. I feel like
Right.
it's exclusively sincere and positive. Is that the bashful face? I don't know. It's like a, it's like a smiley, happy kind of face. Do you know what I mean? Which one? Like the eyes are kind of like, here, I'm doing it.
oh yeah, I know that.
Yeah, that's the one. That seems bashful. to me.
Patreon.com/Allison
Yeah.
Rosen.
And in love.
It's like a contentment.
Yes. Oh, I'm doing it. You guys, I feel I nailed it.
Yeah, I mean,
That's it.
I'm not good
That's
at doing
it.
it like
Yeah.
face
Get onto
impressions, but
Patreon.
like you could be in the next Emoji movie.
I gotta take a face of myself doing this emoji. I mean, a picture. A face of
Take a
myself.
face. Take a face of yourself.
You're going to be
Oh,
impressed.
Remind you,
Make
this
sure-
is
let me
an
see.
audio
Yeah.
podcast mostly.
Sure. Well, I know, but to
I know.
promote the episode.
And
we
now
can
I
use
am
it.
going to let everyone go. But here's a little thing I'm springing on everyone. After this, Tony and I need to record a promo video for a special thing we're doing that is a secret. But I've revealed it on the Patreon bonus episode.
But also, it sounds more exciting than the reality. though.
It's a very low level, low stakes secret. But I need everyone's acting abilities in it. So initially, so on the episode, I'm going to ask you guys to do a little bit of acting. Now, I got to figure out how to do this since you're coming in blind and you have no idea what you're doing. So basically, what I need from you is, Daniel, you're involved in this too. I need, Daniel, I'm going to give each of you your lines. So, Daniel, I need you to go like, this is a joke, right? That's one of the lines. You know, Daniel, you know what it is, right? And
feel like I
then,
know that
so like, this is a joke, right? And then like, is this a stunt or something? So I'm gonna put it on speaker so that it'll just okay. So Daniel, could you do that, please, to the camera?
All right, ready?
Yeah.
Slate. What's your name? Age. Agent.
This is a joke, right?
Great. And then now could we please get is this a stunt or something? Something like that. You know, make it your own.
Is this a stunt or something? Make it your own?
Well, one more time. I think we can do better.
Okay. Is this a stunt? Is this a goddamn stunt? The fuck is going on over here?
And then can we just get one? Just like throw it away. Maybe a little less dramatic.
Hey, what's this over here? What are you doing?
I like that.
But
that was
Sounds
like
great.
the guy about
That
to get
seems
killed in a
perfect.
slasher movie.
yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Hey, what are you
Oh,
doing?
it's you.
Yeah.
What is this? What is this here?
All right,
thing that
I'm
you're doing?
gonna put what we're doing in the chat so that you guys can know. Okay,
Cool podcasting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like,
Okay.
oh my God, anything could happen. That's going to be the promo
You
of
never
it.
know
You know?
what could happen.
That's fine.
Yeah. So Renee, we need a couple lines
Yes.
from you. Just basically like, it's just like, you know, it could anything along the lines of like what? Like this is crazy. Like, have you really thought this through? Like, are you nuts?
Yeah.
Anything like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's not gonna work. I haven't seen it happen before. I don't think it's gonna be successful. What are his credentials even?
Oh my God, that was so good.
Okay.
That was really good.
David Huntsberger was saying how you're a great actress,
Yeah.
and I have now seen it with my own two eyes.
Sure.
That was so good.
Oh,
I know. We were
thank
like,
you so much.
after the show, we were like, no fucking way.
Yeah, this is
No,
none of this
There's
is
no
actually
way, 'cause
happening.
you've talked
This
to
was
her,
just a
right?
trick.
Yeah.
There's no way.
All right,
But,
No way.
Ken.
He was right.
Ken, what are you feeling? What do you feel would be? What's the Ken Reid take on this?
Why would you do that?
Oh, that's so good.
Nailed it.
Oh my God.
Nailed it.
Yes, you guys, thank you so much. This is non-union, so you're not going to see anything in your bank account, but I appreciate. Oh my God, thank you.
I expect nothing these days.
Although that reminds me, guys, if you wouldn't mind joining me for a meeting, I was thinking about unionizing Allison's guests.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
For this.
You guys, this has been so much fun. Thank you so much. I would like to remind everyone that I have a newsletter. If you need me delivered to your mailbox, I think you should sign up for that. It's free. AllisonRosen.substack.com is where you go to sign up. It's me in word form, also some pictures sometimes. And listen to my other podcasts, Childish and Upwardly Weekly, and make sure you're subscribed to this podcast and leave us a nice comment, please, 5 stars. And follow me on social media at Allison Rosen on Twitter and Instagram. And Renee, where do we find you? And plug whatever you would like to plug.
Oh, sure. I think these days you can find me on the Allison Rosen Show occasionally, and I'm happy to be here. I'm such a snooze fest. My dog is still kind of fun on Instagram, so
Yeah,
he is Tugboat the Fluffy Pit. If you like pit bulls, that's where he is. Other than that, I don't have anything to promote these days, so I'm not really active on social media, and I'm sorry.
That's okay. Your dog is enough.
Good
Thank
dog.
you.
Ken, what about you?
I'm still doing TV Guidance Counselor every week, up to 560 something episodes.
Nice.
I don't know if I'll do stand up again. I don't know how to do it anymore. Like, I know how to do it, but I don't know how to do it to get people to let me do it. But that's iCanRead.com, and I'm at Kenneth W. Reid on social media, and the show is at TV Guidance. Here's the guitar that I made for people to
That looks amazing.
Look at that. That's extraordinary.
Nice.
Did you, it's glittery, it's like metallic green. Did you paint it?
see. I did, yeah.
What kind,
It's got
what body was that? What was it?
It's like it was a busted up Les Paul Jr.
That's so cool. Wow. You could be the new Les Paul.
Maybe somebody dead.
I mean, all of us, though, eventually.
Dead having a corporation ripped off my designs.
Yes. Tony, what about you? Oops.
Can you skip Daniel?
I know. I forgot. I got my order wrong. Daniel, what about you?
Well, you can follow me at Daniel Quantz, Twitter and Instagram. You can follow me on texting if you can figure out what my phone number is. You can,
I like that.
and I'll be on
That's
this
a fun
show.
joke.
You can follow me on this show. God knows, I tried to get out of it.
It's true.
Follow you every sunset jogging.
Yeah, you could follow me, and that would be weird, but fun for both of us. Exciting.
And Tony, what about you?
Twitter and Instagram at
Tony Thaxton.
and Bizarre Albums every Tuesday.
Wonderful. You guys, thank you so much. Listeners, thank you for listening. I love you. You matter. Goodbye.
Hey, do you know about the Allison Rosen Show? We had a good time, but now we